Uber and Lyft went up today. There was a story that I think caused, well, two things happened, right? You had a booming market where stocks are just flying up. Then you had a story in Manhattan, New York, where during peak hours, if you drive a car into Manhattan, you're going to have to pay a $9 toll. And I think that created more demand for Uber because I think if you paid it once, they're not going to charge you the toll over and over and over again. So if you drive an Uber car into Manhattan, you'll be able to operate and give people rides for that one day. So they kind of get to, I guess, apply or pay that fee once, maybe give 10 rides and make some money. So that really created a good tailwind for Lyft as well as Uber. Uber, I've noticed over the last 5 days, is up 9%. That's not bad. I'm an Uber stockholder, so I like Uber. I think it's really discounted. And 9% is nice. The stock has been really sold off for the past year. And now it's up 15%. But you can see this sell-off. Man, the stock price really reached heights of $86 per share. But then the story of how robotaxi may disrupt Uber, that story has really caused, I guess, some fear long-term in Uber. Now, I'm an Uber stockholder, and I just think that story is nowhere near being reality. If you think about where robotaxi's at, I'm a Google Alphabet stockholder, so Waymo is a part of Google Alphabet. So I don't have anything against robotaxi. I'm just being realistic. The number of units of robotaxi that are out there are like in the, I'm going to say tens of thousands. And the number of Uber rides, people hail rides on Uber more than 1 million times per hour. Their scale is massive. It's a huge network. They're international. Uber has a very valuable business. They are the leader. They've left Lyft in their rear view mirror. Lyft has not been able to grow as quickly as Uber. They're nowhere near the scale size, nowhere near the profitability, nowhere near the free cash flow. And the stock prices have seen two different appreciation curves. Let's take a look at them. I like using Google Finance because I can compare one stock against another. So when we compare these stocks and we go to the 1 year, the two stocks, Uber barely wins that category. But this is where Uber has really separated itself from Lyft. Lyft is really either poor execution, poor growth. They've just kind of been left behind. And in these industries, the leader, it's not winner takes all, but I would say winner takes most of the market and most of the profits. You look at Meta. Meta is the dominant player there, and nobody else really makes a whole lot of money in social apps. You look at Google Alphabet with Google Search. Google Search is worth so much, but everything else is not. Everybody else who competes in search doesn't make very much money. And I can go on and on. Industries of that type. NVIDIA is like the number one semiconductor company for GPUs. Nobody else is even close, even though others do provide GPUs. So Lyft, I'm not a Lyft stockholder. I wouldn't invest in it because I think they become less and less relevant over time. The real relevant name is Uber, in my opinion. So I'm going to continue to buy their shares and stay with Uber. They've done well over last couple of days, but I just think the stock is nicely discounted. When I look at Uber and I look at their cash flows and I look at how the company continues to grow their top line revenue. So I think the stock's discounted by 84%. The cash flows, when I discount those cash flows that I expect out of the company after I forecast them, it's 94% discounted. If I look at the earnings per share, discounted by 64%. I take more weight of the free cash flow method. So Uber is one of my, substantial investments. I've got a fair amount. And I am continuing to buy shares because I think the market has it wrong. And I think this pullback is an opportunity. Maybe the market's realizing, yeah, you know what? Robotaxi is not going to be a real business thing for 5 years, maybe 10. It's going to take a long time for those robotaxis to get anywhere. So thanks for asking about Lyft and Uber. I wanted to cover them because it's one of those stocks that had a very good day and had a couple really good days.